Watch more programs like this on cable and stream with PCN Select. Subscribe at PCNTV.com. This program has been paid for by the sponsor and does not reflect the views of PCN.
I'm Dave Williams, your host here in Pennsylvania Country Roads. Come and join us every Sunday morning as we travel throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, bringing those stories of the festivals and fairs, as well as museums and train rides, and of course, the heartland stories of the people that produce our food. All this and much more right here on PCN TV. This week, we're going to go to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, to the 4-H State Horse Show, where competitors from throughout the state come to compete against each other. Then we're going to go to the Robinson Farm in Weimar, Pennsylvania, where Josh Shapiro stopped by to learn about agriculture. And from there, we're going to be going to Pittsburgh with a young country singer that does a great job.
Farm Credit supports rural communities and agriculture with reliable, consistent credit and financial services in good times and bad. We provide loans to farmers and ranchers, farmer-owned cooperatives, rural homebuyers, agribusinesses, and rural infrastructure providers. As cooperatives, we're locally owned and governed. We help agricultural producers feed the world. For America's farmers, Farm Credit supporting rural communities and agriculture. Learn more today.
Welcome back, and today we're down at the horse show here, and of course the 4-H horse show, an important part of our agriculture in Pennsylvania, and we're at the Pennsylvania Farm Show. I got Tammy Clark, and you're a big part of this show, right?
Well, I guess so. I'm one of the two people that plans and manages this horse show.
All right. Tell me a little bit about the horse show and what it means to you.
This horse show has been going on since before I was a kid in 4-H. I started 4-H at 12, and it had already been in existence, I think, for about 20 years then. So we celebrated our 50th anniversary several years ago. Each year we have roughly 600 to 700 exhibitors here and 700 to 800 horses.
You know, 4-H is so important to young people, isn't it?
It is. It is. I mean, we talk about the horses, but what really is about the horses is the life skills that they learn with it.
Absolutely. And of course, how many children or young people are here today?
Well, we have 623 exhibitors. And you can plan on with every exhibitor comes mom and dad and brothers and sisters. So we have several thousand people here. You
know, it's amazing. I was just out watching little carts with the minis out there, you know, and 2 kids on a cart, you know, and,
yep.
And some had one, but a lot of them had 2 of them on there and just enjoying themselves to no end.
They are. And actually, that's an age-related thing. If you're 14 and over, you're allowed to drive by yourself. Right. If you're under the age of 14, then you need an accompaniment.
Absolutely. But it's a great training in life, you know, teaches you to take care of things, teaches you work ethics. All them things is what 4-H is really all about.
It is. It is. It teaches them responsibility. It teaches them how to think and work independently. Many of our kids are great public speakers going through school because of their 4-H experience they have.
Absolutely. I want to thank you for coming on. Thank you for taking a little bit of time from your busy job.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Tammy Clark. And, of course, we're here in Pennsylvania at the Pennsylvania 4-H Horse Show, a special part. The State Horse Show. And, of course, they really compete to come here. They have to be, what, first, second, or third in their own county, right?
In their own district, actually. They start out at the county level, and then they qualify to go to the district level and have to place in the top, depending on the class, 2, 3, or 4 to make it to the state show.
So these are the best.
These are the cream of the crop, yep.
Absolutely. And, of course, here at the Pennsylvania Farm Show Complex, I'm Dave Williams.
You know, one of the interesting things with First Citizens Community Bank is a lot of our lenders, a lot of the team that we have continue to be involved in agriculture today. I think that positions us very uniquely compared to a lot of our competition because we are heavily involved in agriculture and we understand what our customers are experiencing.
The people there treated us like more than just a number. They took an interest in what we were doing, and it was much more of a personal relationship than we've experienced with a lot of banks.
We talked to many banks about this, about how to finance our new opportunity. It was just far and away the best fit for us to use First Citizens. As challenges arise, there's no one better to help you than people that are farmers themselves. And at First Citizens, they're farmers. So why not deal with people who understand what you're going through?
Welcome back. And today we're down here at the 4-H show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And, of course, the 4-H horse show. We got a couple miniature ones.
Yeah, mini horses.
Tell me a little bit about them.
Well, he's a 15-year-old miniature horse. He's 32 inches tall, and he is competing in the in-hand trail and jumping competition this weekend.
And, of course, these have become very popular.
Oh, yes. Yeah, mini horses have really grown in popularity.
Now, what 4-H club do you belong to?
We're from Montgomery County, the Bits and Pieces 4-H Horse and Pony Club.
All right. And what's your name?
I'm Amy Kriebel.
All right. And what's your name?
Wait, what?
Your name?
I'm Eleanor Farron, and this is my boyfriend.
And your name?
My name's Elia Longoria.
And your?
I'm Ella Quest.
All right. And tell me a little bit about your...
This is Prodigy. He's 17 years old, and he's here for showing and jumping.
All right. And, of course, all these horses here today, whether they're small or big, doesn't really matter. But the 4-H kids from around the state get really to work together, right?
So in order to show here, you have to qualify. So you have to win first, second, or third place at your county level. And then from there, usually in August, you compete at your regionals. And again, you got to get first, second, or third to make it out here to the state horse show.
And of course, that's what it's all about. Yeah. The competition, but yet expanding their knowledge of the equine world.
Yes, we try to teach the kids like husbandry and care of the horses as well as training. Mm-hmm. And they learn a lot about nutrition and how to keep them in the proper conditions to keep them showing.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank all of you and good luck with the competition.
Yes, thank you.
Everything I do in life, I try to do for my community and make my community a better place. And that's why I work in natural gas and oil. My job is essentially reviewing data and evaluating technology and innovations to try to reduce our operating costs, improve our operational efficiency, and really lower our environmental impacts. This is basically my backyard, looking into the environmental impacts we have on it, what I can do to make it cleaner, and just keep Northeast Pennsylvania a great place.
Welcome back, and we're still out here at the Robinson Farm, and of course, over 100 years old. And you learned a lot of new things today, aren't you?
I did. First off, it's a Cuban bell pepper, right? Yeah. Sweet. No, I learned a ton, both in terms of how they're growing their vegetables and making those tomatoes extra sweet. I won't give away your secret. But also the connection between what's grown here and then how it gets out in the local community. And actually, Zach brought up a real good point. Product out to our food pantries
citizens, absolutely,
and get it out to the citizens around here. So it was real helpful talking to Zach.
Of course, and Zach Jones, and Zach, he farms on this land. Another generation. How many generations?
So I'm the 5th, and I just had a son 9 months ago, so he'll be the 6th.
That's right. You're going to give him a few more months before you got to have him working out here. Right?
He was already talking about bib overalls and everything else.
Yeah, he's got to pull his weight.
But you were talking about some of the real instrumental things that you do here in this farm to make a difference. And of course, we found over the years that a lot of the farmers that stay away from a lot of chemicals and that, naturally they have to use a certain amount to overcome certain things. But really, it entices the consumer's mind to buy, right?
Oh, that's definitely right. And we go to the store, oftentimes a lot of people, they go towards the organic section. Whether they care about it or not, it's always in our minds, what am I eating? What am I feeding my family? Is it going to be healthy for my kids?
Mm-hmm. And it grows into trust. I think that's where the farmer's market is so important. You get to know your farmer.
You do. And actually, Zach and I talked about the organic farming, something I'm real intrigued by and want to support more of. And, I was asking Zach, is this the kind of thing where we need more dollars coming from the Commonwealth to help? And dollars are always helpful, I know, but actually what he said was we need a lot more technical expertise, a lot more help to convert our farm into an organic farm, more auditors in the best sense of the word, to help make sure we're doing it right. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that's the kind of thing we're really interested in the Shapiro administration of promoting organic farming.
Really, and that's one of the complications of it. You know, somebody will say, well, I'm growing it all organic and this and that. And they're actually legally, they can sell, I believe, up to $5,000 worth of products a year, whether they're registered organic or not.
Right.
But getting help to take that land, turn it into an organic farm, because naturally, if you take an old hay field that hasn't been used for 30 years, you can turn that instantly within a year into an organic farm. And we have a friend of ours, and Zach, the Painter Farm up in Tioga County, they farm 5,500 acres of organic crops. And they have tractor trailers taking them crops all over the country, in Ohio and every place else. Plus, they have 450 organic milk cows.
Yeah.
And their nieces on that farm just started up Painterland Sisters Yogurt. And they're actually selling in stores across
They're
the country.
doing great stuff. I was at Pocono Organics the other day. They're doing great stuff. We got to make sure we're promoting that more.
And, you know, Zach, and I know you're going to agree with this, really, it's all about the consumer. The farmer, he grows the stuff. He loves to grow it. Just like Zach and his uncle and Tim, they love farming. And that's how farmers are. But we need them consumers to understand they need to buy our products for us to stay in business.
I think we need a marketing campaign, frankly, that not just encourages you to buy local, but buy Pennsylvania. I think we got to do a better job at connecting our restaurants, whether in Philly, Pittsburgh, wherever, with these farms right here.
Maybe even some sort of a tax discount to the restaurants and all, and the grocery stores that sell our
Absolutely.
products, you know?
And have a sticker that says Pennsylvania made, and put Zach's face on it. You know, it'd be great. People will buy it.
I don't know. I don't know if they'll buy it.
Maybe your son. We'll put your son's face
He'll
on
have to
it.
shave his beard. But realistically, you know, I meet young farmers all over the state. And, you know, Zach, they really want to farm.
Yeah.
And we need to build this industry that they got a future. And I know you feel that way. You actually work for the county, you know, and does a great job.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's all about, farmers have to drive school bus. They have to do this. They have to do that just to make ends meet for insurance and things like that. Zach just had a new boy. If you don't have insurance, that's a pretty tough deal.
Right. But listen, part of the way we can help is by taking, you know, shouldering some of the capital burden for farmers, right? Making sure capital funds are available, not as freebies, but as ways to help farmers get the extra financial help they need, offsetting the need maybe to have that second or third job, giving them access to capital that they couldn't get at a bank. I mean, that kind of stuff is going to help, and that's the kind of resources and service we'll provide.
The other thing is agriculture education. You know, I'm a strong believer in FFA and 4-H.
For sure.
But we need technical advice. We need productions of different movies and things like that to talk about this. We need that 100%, and I think you'd feel that way.
Oh, without question. And look, we've got the FFAs, we got the 4-H, we got the great farm show. We also have Penn State. I mean, we have so many great institutions. It's a matter of pulling it all together and, you know, frankly, having a governor who gives a damn about this kind of stuff and making sure we promote it, and I will.
Worrying about the next generation. Talking about the next generation, we got Carl Eisenhower here. Come here, Carl.
There we go.
He was former president of Wayne Pike County Farm Bureau, farmed all of his life. And when you started out, how many cows did you have, Carl?
Oh, I was high school. I was a senior in high school, and I bought the neighbor's cows. There was 12 cows I was milking going to school.
Okay.
Farms were, a lot of them were pretty small back then.
Yeah.
That was in the 50s.
Okay.
And of
now?
course, he's a hay farmer.
Oh, I drive school bus.
Hey,
got to make that living.
No, I milked cows all my life.
That's good.
Yeah, so, and of course, that's what it's all about. You know, these farmers, it isn't about the money. It's about the land.
A little bit of that.
Yeah, well, you got to have a little bit, yeah. Make the wife happy.
Back in the 50s, guys could buy a farm and pay for it. Today, it's like impossible.
Yeah.
And
well, that's where the capital help will come in, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we're talking about our number one industry in Pennsylvania is agriculture.
Pennsylvania Farm Bureau is about more than farming. We're people united around food, the environment, and community. Our members include farms of every size and type across the state, as well as families who want to be a part of the state's local food culture. We advocate for farm families to continue to produce quality food for their neighbors and for rural communities to have the tools they need to thrive. Pennsylvania Farm Bureau, growing communities, many voices, united vision.
Have high cholesterol, what's wrong, what's going on. The plant can tell us what's happening. And that allows us to predict the future somewhat, based off of temperature and water influxes. Yeah.
So would you consider this organic farming here or no?
It's organically raised. We're not certified organic.
Right.
It's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
I'm hoping one day to move in that direction.
Yeah, can I actually, something I've learned a little bit about, there's this farm I visited in Monroe County.
Okay.
And I was really intrigued by the commitment they made to organic farming. And their claims are obviously it's cleaner, better, produces more, and I take them at their word, and that's my understanding too. But it was interesting to me how much paperwork, how much money.
Yes.
And I wondered if that's where the state could be helpful. Like if we said to you, like if you as a farmer, I'm not going to come in and tell you have to do it, but if you said, hey, I'm raising my hand, I want to make this an organic farm, and we help subsidize that to encourage it. Do you think that is that a good use of tax dollars? Is it not?
So NRCS does that on a federal level. I think the biggest thing is access to auditors, because you have to be audited every year. Just like if you were to have a business with money, it's the same thing. So they come, they check everything. There's a big organic farm in northern part of Wayne County, and I've talked to him at length of all the things that he has to do. But like when it comes down to it, I think a lot of people it's not doing it. It's the how do I find out how to do it, and that's where the connection's lost. Yeah, YouTube. Yep.
So it's not so much like you need dollars. It's more like I need technical assistance.
Yeah.
And I need someone to kind of help keep an eye on this to make sure we're doing it right.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's nice to have, transition years is that's when NRCS will step in, USDA, because if you were historically spraying or using synthetic fertilizers, think of the soil as a human body, and if we're hopped up on sugar and caffeine, nicotine, or whatever, or if somebody
easy on caffeine. Okay, I need the caffeine.
I do too.
Yeah.
But it takes time for that to get out of our system.
Correct. Yeah.
And it takes the soil time to get it out of their system, and it needs to rebuild that biology to actually access nutrients on its own.
Wow.
So that's why they have transition years with some assistance, because you will see yield loss in your crops.
Yeah.
I think it all depends on how you manage things too, but
it's so interesting.
All right, it's time to talk about us. Not him, not her, not them. Us. Thanks to us, things have been great. In fact, you can find us just about everywhere. Your food, that's us. Your food's food, that's us too. Your fuel, that's us. And should anyone out there happen to doubt us, by all means, just watch us.
About you in his sleep, there's nothing I can do to keep from crying when he calls your name, Jolene. Jolene, 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 Jolene. Oh, I'm begging of you, please don't take my man.
What
Welcome back. And today we're going to be talking to Emma Caroline down here in Pittsburgh. I got a whole mess of them lined up today to talk to that are all entertainers and play a big role. And you're a country singer, right?
I am. I love country.
Tell me what kind of music you like to sing. I mean, in the country line.
Yeah, so I love stuff like Casey Musgraves, but honestly, I've always said if I'm passionate about like what the song is saying, then like I love the music. So
the story.
Yeah, I love the story.
Absolutely.
And that's what I want to do like with my music is have a story and to tell to people so that they can like relate and all that.
How'd you get started singing?
I started singing in church. I'm from Alabama, so started singing in church, and through that I recorded a worship EP, and that led me to Nashville, and now that's where I am.
Oh, that sounds great. Yeah. Now, where did you come from originally?
Alabama, Tuscaloosa.
Oh, mercy, down in Alabama, yeah.
Roll Tide.
And if I remember right, I think the Malpas brothers come from down there.
They might, probably.
And, but you know, the South has the churches down there sing all the old hymns and things like that. And I spend time in Texas a lot of times. And, it's amazing the talent that comes out of there, you know. And it's all about really, it isn't just about Christian music always, but it gives you the training to move on to the next step in your life.
Exactly, and I feel like a lot of my melodies and stuff that I come up with remind me of like worship music, even though it is country music.
Absolutely, and well, let's be honest about it. You know, a lot of the country music is sort of a gospel music. You know, it isn't the old rugged cross, but it's like you know. Some of the things, Faded Love's one of my favorite ones, you know, and I love to listen to a violin player play that Faded Love and things like that. And, of course, when you go to Nashville and places like that, you know, you see so much of that. Texas is the same way. Yeah. And Tomball, Texas is where my grandson lives. They have a great place there, and where they have all kinds of musicians come in and things like that. But, you know, this is part of the country. And you're sitting in church, you know, and singing and things like that. But if you think about it, I get out to a lot of concerts. And when there's a really good performer, country, bluegrass, whatever it is, everybody seems to melt down, whether they're black, white, whatever color they are, whatever religion, whatever political party they are. All of a sudden, they're listening to music and they're getting along.
Yeah.
They hear that story. That story is what really moves their mind.
And that's what really matters, I feel like, as an artist, is as long as you can tell a story that people can relate to and feel seen, then you're doing your job.
Absolutely. And Patsy Cline, you know, she brought so many songs out that actually made people think about their own life. And of course, her voice would go right through you, you know.
Sure will. Sure will.
But, you know, I know... as far as singing goes, have you written any songs yet? Or?
I write a lot. I write every week in Nashville. I have a couple songs out on Spotify and iTunes. I'll be performing a lot of them tonight.
Right.
But yeah, I think writing is like definitely I'm just as passionate about it as music, because I want to sing stuff that I believe in, and that, you know, I have artists that sang me through good and bad times of my life, and I want to be that for like someone else.
Well, the Bluebird Cafe.
Yes,
you know,
I sang there.
And it's so important to the artists to be there and have their own compositions and things of that nature, because all of a sudden people start noticing them when they're sincere. And when you're talking about your own life, you stop and think about it. How many of the old country singers that started this business all the way back, you know, Johnny Cash and of course the Carter family, you know, it was all about singing about themselves and the relationships they had in their life. Am I right?
Right, you're right.
You know, Johnny Cash going to Folsom Prison.
I know. You sing from experience.
And of course, you know, a lot of the older ones, they did it, but I see that coming back. That storytelling coming back all the time. Might be a little bit different style, you know. Bob Wills, you know, and Texas swing, more or less, and some of that's even coming back, you know. And but no matter where you go, country music is American music.
It is. You're totally
right. And a lot of times I see country music in bluegrass people. I see it in, you know, in pop people. I see it across the board.
Yeah. It brings people together.
It does, yeah. Well, I want to wish you good luck.
Thank you. I'm excited.
And you got a webpage or anything somebody can go to?
So I tell everyone to follow along on Emma Caroline Music on Instagram.
Instagram.
Yep. And then all my music on Spotify and iTunes is under Emma Caroline.
But realistically, you know, you have an opportunity to do some great things. Tonight we're going to see you on stage, and we're going to cover that.
Yeah, awesome. That's great.
Right.
I'm excited. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank you for visiting with us.
Thank you so much.
All right, you take care of yourself.
I will.
All right.
Too.
And of course, here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and of course, Country Music Center, upcoming Country Music Center, and of course, looking out for the, how should I say, that tune that tells the story.
Yeah, that's good.
Whether she writes it or whether she sings it, it's all about country music and, of course, what we're about here in the country. We'll be right back.
I walk through the door, you've opened the wine. The lights are down low, but the fire in your eye burning bright. You pull me close. Lips soft and smooth, and you ask me what kind of music puts me in the mood.
Hi, I'm Chris Gibbs, farmer and president of Rural Voices USA. We're a network of rural residents ensuring our voices are heard in Washington, D.C. You know, once COVID's behind us, this great nation will be investing like never before in roads, bridges, broadband access, health care, and people. That funding must support our jobs, our farms, and our rural communities. We won't let rural America be ignored. Join our effort to build back rural by visiting ruralvoices.us.
Welcome back, and today I got Sharon Myers here, of course, Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Farm Show, and a lot of things going on, but a lot of help needed for this farm show, am I right?
A lot of help, yes. We have a lot of positions open right now, and we're looking for some really good people to come join our team.
Well, you know, this ain't just a one-day job, neither. You know, I mean, when you stop and think about it, you pay good money, and naturally you need good help because really the farm show is a projection of what Pennsylvania is all about. Am I right?
It is. We're the state's greatest asset when it comes to agriculture. So we do the annual farm show, which is the biggest event that we do. Runs 8 days in January, and we're looking for help specifically for that event, but we're also looking for help year round. People that want to join our team, you know, either be a laborer, an operator, security, that, you know, want to do more than just participate in the annual farm show.
Of course, all interesting jobs too. You know, the farm show in itself, great food and everything else, right?
Yeah, great food. Every day, something different. You know, we're not a facility where you're going to come and do the same thing every day. Every day that we have a different event in-house every day. So It keeps it interesting.
If somebody wanted to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
So they can call our offices, you know, at 717-231-6565, and then we can talk to them directly, or they could visit the Farm Show website, which is farmshow.pa.gov. Again, that's farmshow.pa.gov. And we actually do have a job posting on there, or a link to the job website, and they could get the information on the jobs we have available.
And of course, you know, the farm show is a great place to work, and great people. Get to meet a lot of people, and of course, you know, a lot of times people try to steal your help here too.
They do. They do. Yeah, when we get somebody good, and then somebody else tries to take them. So yeah, it
opens up a lot of opportunities for life. Well, Sharon, I want to thank you for coming on, and of course, something that's really important because, you know, I spend a lot of time here too, and the farm show is such a big thing for Pennsylvania. It's the biggest indoor farm show in the United States, and we're proud of it here, and we want to keep it what it is.
The Friends of the Farm Show Foundation began back in 2010 as a way to support educational events at the annual farm show. We work with the leadership of the farm show, help them raise funds to conduct the annual farm show. I think what draws people to the annual farm show is the vast diversity. It is that diversity of that equipment, livestock, and the involvement of the youth. The Friends of the Pennsylvania Farm Show Foundation are hugely appreciative of our opportunity to support the annual farm show in Harrisburg.
Come and join us every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on PCN TV as we travel throughout the countryside of Pennsylvania, bringing you those heartland stories about the places we love to visit and the people we love to meet. Everything that makes Pennsylvania such a great place to live.
This program has been paid for by the sponsor and does not reflect the views of PCN. To get your program on PCN Fusion and for more information, contact info@pcntv.com.